This is how Facebook and Instagram ads actually work. Okay, and this is coming from somebody who literally runs a digital advertising agency for a living. I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on ads every single month across multiple clients in multiple different industries. And so I'm gonna explain this to you in the simplest way possible so you understand exactly how they work, how they make money, and pretty much just what a Facebook ad is. So if you engage with any product from Facebook, right, which includes Instagram, of course, Facebook, even WhatsApp, right, Facebook runs ads across all of those different networks, and advertisers are able to select and run ads across all of them by simply publishing one single ad. And so if you go on your Instagram feed, obviously, I'm assuming you've seen an Instagram or Facebook ad before. And so literally the second post in my feed is an ad by Use Motion app. And so you can see here, this is sponsored, which means it's an ad. And in this ad, you can see they get likes, they have a call to action, and there's actually a link right here, which will take me off of Instagram to their website, trying to get me to buy something ultimately, right? And so how advertisers do the targeting, is based on your interest, based on who you are, based on what types of things you like and share. Facebook has a lot of data on you, and so advertisers are trying to get a certain result, whether that's more sales or leads. And so ultimately they're trying to reach users that are most likely to engage with their ads to ultimately, drive a certain result and make sales. So if I keep scrolling right here, you're gonna see a lot of different ads, right? If I keep going, here's another sponsored ad right here by The Closing King, and this is a video ad as well. And so anything that says sponsored is an ad. If we go onto Facebook right here, we're gonna see a similar thing as well. And so if I scroll down on my Facebook feed, boom, here's an ad by Gym Launch right here. They're trying to ultimately get me to engage, if I'm a gym owner, or this is actually an ad about ads. And so again, there's a link here for call to action. They have the headline right here. They have their copy. And so you're gonna see a lot of ads throughout your feed. It's like every other post almost is an ad. Here's one for Gillette, right? So I'm assuming you've seen ads before. You have a basic idea of what ads are, but you might not understand how advertisers actually run them. So let's get into that. Let's say you're a business owner and you're looking to take advantage of advertising. Ultimately, why do you want to run ads? The vast majority are business owners running ads to generate sales, right? And so if you're a business owner, essentially what you're looking to do is you give money to Facebook. Facebook then gives you attention. It gives you eyeballs, right? And those eyeballs are real people who are likely to buy your products or services. And what happens is it outputs money for you. Now, what you're trying to do is to put in, $1 to get attention, to then get, $2 out for your business, right? And that's where the return on investment comes in. And that's why a lot of advertisers spend money on Facebook ads, is they're trying to get a return on their investment. They're trying to put in $100 and get $200 back. They're trying to put in, $1,000 and get $3,000 back, right? Big businesses, the reason that they can spend $100,000 a month on ads is because they can put in $100,000 and they get $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 out of their ads. And so ultimately it comes down to this, right? Why is attention ultimately so valuable, right? Facebook's built their entire business model around getting attention, creating a place for people to actually spend time on their platform so that they can then sell that attention, quite simply, right? And so they have 3 billion people across Instagram and Facebook. And these people are throughout the United States or throughout Canada, throughout the entire world. And so if you're looking to sell a product to a local market in just your city, Facebook has people obviously that use their platform on Instagram or Facebook in that small community that you can then get attention from and sell things to. And so if this is the entire pocket of 3 billion people right here, let's say you're a small business, okay, maybe you want to just go after the United States right here. And maybe not even just the United States, maybe you want to go after just, a small little city, right? And this is essentially who you're targeting, and that's who you can get an ROI from. You could maybe sell them roofing services. You could sell them an e-commerce product. You could sell them walk-ins for your local clinic or whatever, right? Like you can literally sell anything, and that's why Facebook is inherently valuable, and that's what advertisers are doing on the platform, is they're getting the attention of these people that might buy their products. Now, as far as Facebook ads actually work from an advertising standpoint, it can be pretty complex overall up front. But once you understand it, it is quite simple to actually run the ads. And so I'm gonna show you this graph right here, and then I'm gonna show you in Facebook ads how ads actually look from the back end. So when you go ahead into Facebook ads, if you go to something called business.facebook.com, that's where you essentially do all these things for advertising. And so when you're in your ad account, it's called, you then create a campaign. And your campaign essentially houses all of your ad sets and your ads. So your campaign is the kind of overall house. This is where you set your objective. So if you're looking to generate sales, if you're looking to generate leads, if you're looking to generate just traffic and Instagram profile visits, followers, that's where you set that at the campaign level. Okay, then that's also where you set your budget. So say you're looking to spend $50 per day. That's where you would set your budget, and Facebook will spend $50 per day, and that outputs a certain amount of eyeballs, right? So typical CPMs, or cost per 1,000 impressions, you might hear that term, are about $10. And so if you were to spend $50, that would then equal about 5,000 impressions, right? So that's real people seeing your ads. They might see it multiple times, but overall you're going to get around that many impressions, which ideally, hopefully leads to, a couple clicks, potentially some sales for you, right? And so that's what you're doing at the campaign level. At the ad set level, this is where advertisers are then setting their audience targeting settings. And so Facebook has a lot of AI. And so back to this like graph right here, Facebook has a really elaborate, system for targeting users and getting their advertisers results. And so if I set my objective here for sales, Facebook already knows, in the United States, I want sales. Let's say I have an e-commerce brand, and it's going to automatically kind of crawl your website and know who you're targeting. And it's going to kind of already do the job in getting you sales. But what you can do at the ad set level is pretty much change things around what you're targeting. So you can set a certain gender, you can set a certain location, you can target certain interests, and you can also adjust your placements. So if you wanted to only run ads on Instagram, you can adjust your placements at the ad set level. And that's kind of where you do all the targeting stuff. And then finally, you have actually creating your ads. And so this is where you can upload your images, you can upload your videos, you upload your headlines and your primary text, right? So back to these ads right here. Let's find, so like Scribe, for example, right? This is where they're creating their ad on the ad level, and this is their primary text right here. So they uploaded this copy, and that becomes this part of the ad. They also uploaded this video. Obviously, that's the main creative of the ad. Then they also have this headline right here, okay? That becomes the headline. Then they have this description, and that's another part of the ad. And then they have their call to action, which in this case is learn more. And so you set up all of those things, and this becomes the basic core of your ad, right? You have your primary text, you have your creative, in this case, this video, you have your headline, your description, you have your call to action, and then you have your website URL, which is just the business scribehow.com. All right, and so that's pretty much the basics of how Facebook ads work. And then as far as on the advertising side, what you're gonna be doing is setting the objective at the ad set level. And so if you want more sales, you're gonna optimize for sales. And so Facebook is going to know basically what you want as the objective for your ad, and it's going to go out there and get you attention that's ultimately going to result in what you want, so more sales. Now, showing you what this looks like in a live real client account, here is how that all breaks down. So we have our campaigns right here. So again, just like this, we have our campaigns, ad sets, and ads. In this case, we have our campaigns. We have all of our ad sets right here that are contained within each of these campaigns. And then we have our ads. And so if I go into each of these, so if I go into the UK one, for example, here's the ad sets that we currently have in that actual campaign. And then within that ad set, here is the actual ad that we have in that ad set. And so looking at the data right here, you can see that these campaigns all have various metrics associated with them. And so in this case, for North America, we spent $5,800, and that resulted in 50 purchases and $41,000 in revenue for us at a 7.18 ROI, or return on ad spend, ROAS. And so of course, as an advertiser, we want to keep running ads because it's giving us so much money back in return that this is how essentially advertising works and why it makes sense to run. And so this all comes down to your business, what offer you have, how good you are at advertising, which is what we help with at Jet Ads, right? To get that ROI essentially. And so you can see here, right, with that $5,800 in spend, that resulted in 500,000 impressions. So think of like eyeballs, okay? Individual times you see an ad, right? 98,000 people reached. So that's, think of unique people, right? And so reach or frequency is essentially how many times somebody sees an ad on average. And so unique people see an ad from us on average about 5 times in this case. And then we have our CPM here. So cost per 1,000 impressions, like I said, close to the $10. And then that only results in about 4,100 clicks, right? But obviously those clicks are very valuable to us. And that results in 373 add to carts, all these checkouts, right? And you can see how all this breaks down, resulting in a cost per purchase for us of $116. And our average order value is $837. So giving us a lot of margin there. And that's how we get that 7 ROAS. Right now, if I wanted to go ahead and create a brand new ad, right, this is how you would essentially do that. So in this case, breaking down this campaign right here, I set this up, right? Our objective here is a sales campaign. Okay, we use a campaign budget. So we set our budget at this level right here, and that's all that we're doing at the campaign level. Now in the ad set level right here, what we're doing is we're selecting our conversion location. So in this case, we have it set to website because we want to drive sales and conversions on our actual website. We're optimizing for the most number of conversions, and we're optimizing for the event, which is purchase because we want people to obviously purchase things, not just add to cart or initiate checkout. We want them to actually buy. So that's the most valuable thing we want to optimize for. Okay, and then we're going down here and we're setting our audience targeting. So this is where, things can get weird. Maybe you feel like you're being followed around on Facebook. This is where that magic happens right here. We can set the age range we want to target, the gender we want to target, and then we can do things with custom audiences, which is where we would do retargeting. So we could add in people that have visited our website. We could add in people that have added to carts. We could add in people that have already bought from us. We could add in people that have engaged with our Instagram or our Facebook account right here. And we could retarget all of those people, right? And this is also where you can set some interest. So if you've never ran ads before, you don't have any retargeting, you could also target particular interests right here. So we're not currently targeting any interests because Facebook's AI is automatically finding the best customers for us. But you could add in things like there's a lot of different things that you could add in here. Like if you want to target swimming, boom, there's a swimming interest right here, water sport, which has 228 million people. In the US, it's going to be a lot less. You can see it's still 30 million to 35 million people. Okay, and then I keep on going down, and then you have your placements here as well. And this is where you can adjust which platforms you run the ads on. So if you only want to run your ads on Instagram, you can do that. If you only want to run your ads on Facebook, you can do that. Okay, now going down to the ad level here, this is where we're then uploading those images, the primary text, the headlines, and the description and the website URL to make our ad, right? And you can see this is what the ad looks like on all those different placements. And so this is the Instagram feed right here. You can see exactly what the ad would look like in this case. You can kind of scroll through it. You can also see what it looks like on the Facebook feed, right? And this is what our ad would look like in the Facebook feed, right? A couple different examples of what that would look like. Again, we have our primary text right there. We have our image right here. You could also do a video. Then we have our headline, and then we have our call to action, learn more. Then you can also see what our ad looks like on the story placement. So we're running ads there as well. This is what it looks like. Facebook pretty much takes care of distributing your ad to all these different places. Only thing you got to worry about is uploading your creatives, right? And so we go down here, we can see we have manual upload. We upload in 3 different images right here. We have our different primary text. We have different headlines. We have our website URL. Facebook's going to automatically test all these different things that we've given it to them and find the best ad combination to give us the best results. All right, so in a nutshell, that's how Facebook ads works. Hopefully you learned something from this video. And if you're looking to go deeper with advertising, I have a free course that you can check out in the description. So definitely join that. I also have a ton of other free content on my YouTube all about advertising. So check out those videos if you want to learn more as well. And if you did have any questions, comment them in the description. I personally get back to everybody on any questions you have. So I'm happy to kind of elaborate on this more so you can better understand how it works. And if you're looking to continue to learn more about ads, I recommend watching this video from me next.